This will instantly brainwash you into becoming successful. In order to be successful, you have to shift entirely who you are now in order to become another version of yourself who's very successful, which means different habits, different routines, different ways of doing things. You know, if you desire to go to another place, you've got to change who you are right now. I had to do this in order for me to get to where I am today. And a lot of people lack the understanding of exactly what it takes to get to that next level. What you do now is not going to get you to that next level. Who you are now is not necessarily going to get you to the next level. Most people associate this with hustling hard, reaching burnout, and doing whatever it takes, highly uncomfortable situations in order for you to get to that next level of success and growth. While some of these things are important to reach a certain level of success, you're not going to have it overnight. And a lot of people don't understand that there's a process and you have to audit your behavior and what you're doing in order for you to get to that next level. This is why I decided to do this video with actionable steps to help you rewire that subconscious mind so that you can take steps now that will get you to that next desired state. So let's jump in. If you like the videos on my channel, don't forget to give it a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping a new video. Have you ever heard the saying that money loves speed? This is something that I discovered by taking massive action in my business. This led me to making $1 million within 11 months. There's going to be times where you're going to get these certain ideas, downloads. You're going to get inspiration from something. And what makes a difference between someone who's successful and who someone's not is a person who actually takes action on the things when they come through. I have learned that me thinking about things over and over again is not the way to get the result that I'm looking for. It requires me to take action in that moment. And if you don't know what to do next, maybe make a list of things that you're good at, experience you've had, what you're passionate about, and then, what have you overcome in your journey that you can actually help with others? This is where I had to let go of perfectionism, because when you're in a state of perfectionism, you're usually in a freeze mode, trauma mode. You're not doing anything. You're overthinking. And when I was an attorney, everything had to kind of be perfect. So I was always taking, longer steps to get the thing done. But now that I've had this business, I realized that way of being before was not productive to getting where I needed to be. I had to get the ideas and then I had to implement them. Being an attorney, we had to, dot our I's and cross our T's. It was like a little bit different. But even then, if I'd taken action as an attorney, I probably would have made more money. Now, I embody the principle of letting go of control. And I have this saying that says, messy makes me millions. Messy action is the key to the success that you're looking for. If you're willing to do things imperfectly, you're going to get so much further ahead than somebody who is overthinking and planning out their next step. Someone who's taking action is always going to be faster and further ahead than someone who's just sitting there planning. I always say take at least one step every day. It doesn't matter what you're doing. As long as you're putting yourself forward into the thing that you desire, then you're moving in the direction where you want to go. Doing nothing will keep you exactly where you are. Doing nothing. I had to shift my mindset around something really big. And I'll tell you, I started to learn to invest in myself instead of thinking I was spending money. This was a huge, huge shift. I hired people that were further ahead than me because I saw what they were doing and I'm like, show me how to do it. Show me what I need to know. Help me get out of my own way. And because of that, my quantum leaps have been giant throughout my business. How do you make $1 million in 11 months, and then I did it again in 10 months. And I got to tell you, and I did it faster than that. I did it in half a year. And what I want to tell you is that when you start learning from somebody else, you're going to move so much quicker than if you're just trying to figure it out yourself and plan, right? I knew that when other people had the success that I wanted, I was going to invest in them. And it's an investment. It's not me spending. Huge, huge shift there. What we're basically doing is moving money around. It's going to one place to the next place. Hoarding it in your bank account or saving it there is not really helping you get to your next level. So I do love to invest in myself. Buying little programs here and there are a great way to start, but sometimes you have to make that big leap in order to put yourself outside your comfort zone and make that big investment because you're looking for big results, right? I started with little programs too, but then when I made that very big investment, I'm telling you, I had a $300,000 a month about 3 months later. And Ashanti, the singer, was in my program that June of 2020 when it happened. And she was manifesting a bunch of stuff, just letting you know. And look where she is now, right? So sometimes you have to make that, big leap. And it's the energetic exchange. I'll tell you, when I had a big moment where I made a big investment in myself, I thought, wow, that was easier than I thought. Why was I stuck with the mindset that I was, spending money and it was going to go away. Instead, I looked at it like, wow, this is such a freeing moment for me. I was living in this fear around investing in myself because I thought I was putting the money somewhere else because I had a very limited consciousness around wealth at the time. And making those big investments, and at the time it was not that big, it was only like $3,000. It put me in another space of like, wait a minute, I can do this. I'll get my money back. And all my clients, pretty much most of them, come into my space, especially my mastermind, and they have an investment back. It may not just always be cash. It'll be like the growth that they'll have, which will continue to help them make money down the road, have a better life. So you've got to start shifting the way you look at what you're using your money for, as opposed to just spending it, right? Letting it go. That is such a limited mindset. And the moment that I shifted that, more wealth came into my world. Another thing about investing in mentors, one of my mentors, Richard and Carly, it was a mastermind I was in. That's when I made the $1 million very fast, was in that mastermind. I did everything they told me to do. And they will tell you to this day, they wish they had 100 more of Shamina, because I listened to the guidance of what they knew how to do things. I mean, these people were doing the marketing for Eckhart Tolle and Marianne Williamson and all the big wigs. And so why wouldn't I listen to them? I hired them. And I'm telling you, the investment I made in them, came back 10 times, and I did what they said. I was coachable. I was ready to learn. I was ready for my next level. And I asked the right questions. I applied what, they told me. I took it seriously. But sitting there trying to figure it out yourself is like probably the worst thing you could do, because you're going to be in the same spot you were next year, 6 months from now, next year, and the year after that. I'm going to tell you, I quantum leap because I get someone to show me how they got to that place faster, and I get there too. It is so important that you surround yourself with people who are doing things that you want to do, and they're doing it bigger. If you are not around those type of people, the chances of you growing exponentially are pretty nil. And I had to take an audit of the clients that I was working with, the friends that I had, the communities that I was in, as I was up leveling. As I went to further levels up, when I hit 7 figures, I realized that the type of clients that I was working with were no longer, an alignment, let's say, for my mastermind. They were good for my other programs, but I had up leveled so much that I needed to have people who were up leveling too on that level. And having this audit of who you want around you is going to affect how you're thinking. It's going to be also affecting your emotions, your emotional mastery, and being able to know who stays and who goes is really a powerful tool when you're doing this work. You don't want to be around people who have a scarcity mindset if you're planning on expanding your mindset, into more wealth. You can't be around people who are complainers, who don't do anything, because you don't want to be around those people, because that's the energy that's going to rub off on you. So what I would do is make a list and then take an audit of who you need in your life, what needs to stay and what needs to go. You should do this periodically. Every time you have an upgrade and you know that you're no longer wearing the skins of that old self, you need to check in and figure out who stays and who goes. I love when people say they've had friends for 30 years. That's amazing. Keep those friends, however you can interact with them. For me, I changed so much. I have friends for a long time, but also my immediate circle, they have to grow with me or they go. They cannot stay, because I know how fast that I'm up leveling, and my circle and my community really supports me, either in my growth or they don't, because you attract who you are, right? A friend of mine said that she was attracting, I haven't talked to her in a long time, and she said she was attracting people who were, let's just say they were not emotionally mastered. And she's like, I don't know why. And she was talking about how she needed to do some inner work. And I said, once you start doing that inner work, those people are going to drop off. We hadn't talked in a couple of years, I haven't seen her in a couple of years. And I encouraged her to really work on herself so she can get into alignment with who she wants to be around in her life, and not energy suckers, right? So there was a point in my life where my back was up against the wall, and I literally had to just decide. I had to make a decision. It was time to move. If you don't make a decision, you're not going to move, right? And I decided that I was not going to be the last millionaire in my family. There was just no way that was going to happen. And maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe you're going to be the first millionaire in your family, and you're going to move on through to that next level and show others what's possible. I want you to ask yourself, what is it going to cost you to stay right where you are versus taking action and going after the thing that you desire? This is why taking aligned action is the key to having the things that you want to have and achieve. Listen, if you want to quantum leap and you want to have those results, and that results coming to you quicker, we've got an in-person event here in Chicago, October 25th and 26th of this year. Grab your tickets. The ticket prices are going up. We have a 2-day event. Last year it was 1 day and it was the same price. You're getting 2 days. at right now at this ticket price, and it's going to go up. We only have like maybe 5 VIP tickets yet left. You'll be in the room with a bunch of millionaires. But I'll tell you something. You get in that room, you're going to go through an exercise. You're going to go through an exercise of how to get into that state where you leave that 2-day event in a more advanced version of yourself, that you're able to quantum leap to your future self. We're going to talk about wealth consciousness. It's called the Wealth Consciousness event here in Chicago. We're going to talk about how you can access more wealth for you right now that you are not currently doing. It is so important that you surround yourself with people who are doing the thing, that want to do the thing so you can grow faster. It is a game changer. This event, there's nothing like it. Nobody talks about money and wealth this way. Nobody talks about quantum leaping this way. This is going to be something that's going to help you get to your next level. Grab the tickets below. Also, if you have not gotten my book, go get it, Unlocking the Quantum Woman. It's going to give you practical tools for you to actually start getting through that mental garbage and getting through the emotional blocks that's keeping you stuck, but also how to create the life that you want, how to create that reality. How can you get to the version of yourself that you truly desire? Great start. I want you to go there, start reading it. And if you aren't tuned in to Unapologetically Rich, my podcast, go and listen and binge it. You'll love it. It's different content than my YouTube, unless we're uploading the video here. And go ahead and join our Quantum Woman group on Facebook. We'd love to have you there. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video with someone who needs it, because when we're in abundance, we know that more wealth is coming. So we share. All right, stay tuned for the next video. Bye for now.